It's Temple Talk. On today's episode, Paolo Pilladi is here. Meet your hosts, Jackie Rappaport, Baker McNamara, Connell O'Brien, Cameron Scrivens. Also with Ashley Meir, Maggie Fitzgerald, Kat Ottenreith, Sarah Kisela, and Olivia Ricchiro. From Temple University, this is Temple Talk.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Temple Talk. We had a little bit of a break, but we are ready to give you the latest and greatest of pop culture. We have a very special episode today. Paolo Pilladi is here to give us the scoop on his new Philly-based film called Last Call. It's called Last Call, guys. And our correspondents will give you the tea on fashion, Black History Month, and positivity. Now, clearly we are feeling very pinky today, and hosts, I missed you guys so much, and I hope you guys had a wonderful break. What's something that you guys learned over break?
One thing I started doing a lot more was going on walks, and I don't know if that's something I learned. Even though it was really cold, I started going on walks in the morning and realized it really woke me up. And yeah, that was something new I started to really love to start doing. So I learned that walking is beneficial for my mental health and physical health. What about you guys?
Connell, hearing you say that you've learned to love walking truly blew my world away. I'm a walking addict. I'm the number one advocate for everyone to go on a walk every day. That truly music to my ears.
Good.
Anyway, something that I've learned over break, and this seems to be a recurring theme where I talk about this here, is lattes. I got this gorgeous milk frother for Christmas that I've been really experimenting with. I made a strawberry Valentine's Day cold foam latte, and that was bougie as hell. So I'm really kind of diving into the experimental world of lattes, and it's really amazing.
Love.
I got a membership to Masterclass for $1. They had a student discount day. So I was flying through them on break. And I think the best one was the Shonda Rhimes one. It was about TV production and writing for TV. And I felt it personally. And I'm learning from the best. So I love that. And then I also learned a lot from TikTok, which is learning, but it's learning. You know how much you guys find out on there.
Education.
Always.
Everything you can get on TikTok and more. For me, I think I've just been doing a lot of yoga and meditating and self-care.
Good for you.
I think everyone deserves self-care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I started meditating.
Well, guys, let's just dive. Oh, so sorry.
No,
so sorry.
I was just bouncing off of you, and I said I started meditating in the morning as well, which instead of nighttime. Well, adding nighttime too, so that helped a lot too. That's something I learned.
Meditation, cleansing of the mind, we all need it.
So whoa.
Well, guys, let's just dive right into what's been going on in the entertainment world lately. If you've been on social media, you've probably seen the hashtag Free Britney going around. World-renowned pop star Britney Spears has not had full control over her life for over a decade after her father, Jamie Spears, put the singer under a conservatorship, legally handing over Britney's finances and her daily life affairs to himself. He did this back in 2008 following her infamous breakdown, and Britney's longtime fans, they're going to speak, okay? So they vocalized their dissatisfaction knowing she is still under conservatorship at the age of 38. So they started the Free Britney hashtag in hopes of freeing Britney from the legal binding. A lot to unpack here, and I think we should just start from the beginning. Okay, 12 years ago, she had this breakdown. She was going through a lot, biggest pop star of that time, in my opinion. And she has, these strict rules that she has to follow. She just felt, out of place. She had a lot of anxiety, she was saying. I'm just host, what do you think about all of the stuff that went down? She had a breakdown, conservatorship, and now she's 38 and she's still in this legal battle.
For me, it's horrifying. I'm like 3 years deep into this whole Free Britney movement. I'm really, really hung up on it. I'm like, the Free Britney podcast is a staple for me. It's so good. Seriously, hashtag Free Britney. And I watched the New York Times documentary on Hulu, and it just is like, it was so heartbreaking to see these moments in her life play out right in front of you. And there's just no denying how awful this entire situation is. There's the one scene in the documentary where they're talking to one of the head paparazzi people who was always following her around, and they asked, and the interviewer asked the paparazzi person, "Did she ever tell you to go away?" And he was like, "No, no, only ever for the day, but she never ever told us to leave her alone." And then they showed like multiple clips of her being like, leave me alone," and it just like shows how disrespectful people were towards her. Like people were just eating her up as if she wasn't a human being, and it absolutely just rips me apart.
And it's so sad because at the end of the day, we know a lot of famous people go through troubles with fame in general, right? But we need to keep in mind she had a breakdown in 2008 because of so many bottled up different reasons, right? You know, and it's so unfair that especially a man is controlling a woman, let alone your daughter. It's really upsetting, and it makes you think, why is he doing it? What is the drive behind all of that? And it's devastating. It's completely unfair. She is 28. She recognized, her past, and she wants to grow. She wants to learn, but it's just holding her back. Jackie, Cam, what do you guys think?
I'm thinking of all of the biases we have towards these celebrities and how fast we are to judge the things they go through because you read one sentence on a news article and that's what you take away. So then I'm thinking about, oh, her sister, who we know and love from Zoe 101, got pregnant. What if she was tied into this? It's the same father, I think. So you never know what's going on with them. And I feel guilty later on realizing, wow, there's so much we don't know. How many other people has this happened to? And she's a huge star. So for someone so big to have this crazy life behind her that we don't know, it's mind-boggling and it makes me think, what else is out there that we don't know? Probably a lot.
Yeah, and with these celebrities, they love the whole legal battles and they love just bringing the law into things. So, he could have just had a civil conversation with her and maybe they could have worked something out if he really felt like she was not capable of controlling her life. But clearly, I don't know what it is with the law and being a celebrity and just having money that they just always feel like they need control legally. But guys, we can talk about this all day. I definitely want to get over and switch gears a little bit right now. Kim Kardashian West filed for divorce from Kanye West, who she has been married to for 7 years. And now, as we all remember, Kanye made headlines this past summer with his attempts at a presidential campaign. And for some compromising tweets about Kim and the rest of the Kardashian family, fans speculated that the couple would be getting a divorce. After it was reported that they were not living together for the duration of the pandemic and amongst all the other things going on in their lives. Did we even see this coming, guys?
A little bit.
I feel like, yeah, my main question that I wanted to ask you guys was, is anyone surprised almost? You know what I mean? I feel like this is we've been building towards this moment in a way.
And that's what I kind of think, because part of me is debating between, yes, I'm surprised, but no, I'm not surprised, because Kanye is a genius, as we know. But one thing that Kanye struggles with is his mental health, and which is really, really, really upsetting to see, some of the mistakes he has made with, releasing personal information about Kim and the kids and, trying to run for 2020, I just think where Kim is at is what do I do for the kids? And I think that was her number one main priority, was thinking about the kids and how their father is being perceived in the media, etc. And just for the name of her kids, and for Kanye. What do you guys think?
I mean, look how it all ties back into mental health. We were just talking about Britney and her mental health issues. There are so many people, and we don't want to be biased. We are again talking about another story, and it's like we don't know the full story. But on that note, to sound hypocritical, the biggest shocker for me, we all kind of expected it with social media speculation, but when I heard about maybe rumors of Jeffree Star partnership with Kanye, I was like, oh, I need to know more about this, which I shouldn't feed off of this, but it's intriguing. I mean, I want to know more, so we'll find out more, I guess. But it's sad, and I saw Kim posted on her story her driving, listening to driver's license. I was like, she's going through it, so we need to. I know we need to give her space.
So dramatic. I'm obsessed with that. She was like, I need to have my moment. You know what I mean? That's so funny.
It sounds like, they're gonna have an easy time, low key, like with this whole legal stuff. Like it sounds like they're gonna do, joint custody of the kids. He is in their life, and that's really what matters out of this whole thing, is making sure that the kids are, safe, secure, and they have both their parents in their lives. I think that's what their main focus is. And especially being celebrities, of course, everything's out in the public, and we talk about things like this, but it's probably a really difficult time for them. But yeah, I'm just like, do you guys feel bad for Kim? Do you feel bad for Kanye? Is it more the kids? Like,
It's always
I
about
feel
the
like I feel
kids.
bad for all of them. This is obviously kind of a tough situation. But I don't want to make any judgments on like their relationship necessarily, but from the outside looking in, like what they've let us see throughout these past years, I just feel as though it was pretty clear to us as an audience and the general public that they had their differences, you know what I mean? And eventually you have to reach a point where it's like you can't keep compromising a relationship, and that's kind of what I imagine is where they're at right now with their relationship.
There's
So
also
I hope it's mature. I hope they're both doing okay. I hope they're both moving on. But yeah.
there's such a stigma with divorce, and it's
Yeah.
bad, of course, but also if you're going to be happier because of it, like, good, we're happy for you. So I just hope that their lives are better and that they're more positive and that they find more meaningful, healthy relationships. But it's sad for the kids because they're going to have a different family life because of it, no matter what.
yeah, we gotta root for those kids, and I hope everything with the divorce goes well. A lot going on in Hollywood lately, guys, but we had to take a quick break. Coming up, we have a special interview with the director of a new Philly-based film called Last Call. But first, watch our correspondent Sarah Casella talk about some Black pioneers in entertainment.
Here in Philadelphia, we don't have to travel far to be immersed in lessons of rich history. Music has always been integral to the soul of the city of brotherly love. During the 1920s, South Philadelphia became a hot spot for jazz music. The genre remained alive throughout the 1930s thanks to names such as Billie Holiday, Dizzy Gillespie, and Frank Johnson. After World War II, there was a sort of resurgence of jazz music in the city. In 1952, North Carolina native and soon-to-be jazz legend John Coltrane bought a home in Philadelphia's Strawberry Mansion neighborhood. In the same year, a show called American Bandstand premiered out of a studio in West Philly, hosted by Dick Clark. Throughout its 24-year run, the program provided a national stage for rock and roll and rhythm and blues stars such as Solomon Burke, Patti LaBelle, and Frankie Avalon. During the 1970s, Philly's soul music became popular. Gamble and Huff, Billy Paul, and Teddy Pendergrass are just a few Philadelphians who helped popularize the genre. The heavy R&B, pop, and jazz influences of Philly soul laid the groundwork for the disco music that emerged later in the decade. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, disco clubs emerged around the nation. In 1974, Patti LaBelle released Lady Marmalade, a song that would go on to become a disco anthem. Once the 80s hit, disco fell out of style and hip-hop made its way to Philly. Lady B, Will Smith, Schoolie D, and DJ Jazzy Jeff all became hip-hop household names throughout the 1980s. In 1987, a band called The Roots got together in South Philadelphia. Listed as one of the best hip-hop bands of all time, The Roots now serve as the house band on Jimmy Fallon. Moving through the 90s and early 2000s, names like Boyz II Men, Eve, and Jill Scott kept Philadelphia on the music radar. Today, Philadelphia continues to be a hotspot for talented musicians. Names like Meek Mill, Lil Uzi, and Tierra Whack all originated right here in the city of brotherly love, a city rich in history and soul, thanks to the work of Black musicians.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I cannot wait to introduce our next guest. He is the director of a new Philly-based film called Last Call. Everyone, please welcome Paolo Pilladi.
Hello, welcome. We are so happy to have you here. So do you mind telling us some things about yourself? Maybe your journey getting into film and directing?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, my name is Paolo. I grew up in Overbrook in West Philly. Went to school at West Catholic in West Philly. Went to school in Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh. Sorry, guys, but yeah, came back to Philly shortly after college. Right at the time was when the digital kind of revolution was happening in like the early 2000s or whatever. So to move from film into digital was made it kind of easier to to make movies or whatever. Not as easy as it is now, not as as you can with your phones and stuff, but still. And yeah, bounced around a little bit in New York, LA, and then kind of came back to Philly and been in Philly for the last 12 years or so. So
Well, that's awesome. I'm actually from Drexel Hill, so I grew up there.
yeah, you'll appreciate this project for sure. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Last Call looks like it's going to be a really hilarious and very relatable film for those, who grew up around the Philly and Upper Darby area. Was it easy to capture the culture to go along with the film?
yeah, that's a great question. I think when this script came to me, because Greg Lingo, who was the executive producer of the project, he had written a first draft of the script, and I had gotten my hands on it and then rewrote it and co-wrote it with him. But having grown up in Overbrook, I knew the world intimately, so I was instantly attracted to it because I'm from it, I'm of it, and Overbrook, is on the city side of Cobb's Creek from Upper Darby. So I knew the world, and I'm working class people, and most of the films I like, the stories I like to tell are from the working class perspective. This is a little different, being a comedy and albeit a somewhat raunchy kind of unapologetic comedy, is a different kind of look at it, but it's honest, and it's authentic. And so that excited me. As far as capturing it, we shot in North Jersey in Bayonne primarily, which mimicked what we were going for with Upper Darby quite well, in terms of a working class kind of no nonsense neighborhood that also was experiencing a bit of gentrification, which was a gentrification storyline going on in our in our film. So no, it wasn't that hard, because I knew what we wanted, and that town worked well. And then we also cast, some of our cast, Jamie Kennedy, Sherry O'Terry, they're both from Upper Darby. Bruce Dern went to school at University of Pennsylvania, so he knew the area a little bit. Peter Patrikios grew up in Overbrook in West Philly. So we had a handful of what amounts to local talent that helped as well.
That's awesome. Do you think with all of those actors and actresses being from, and you as well being from around the Philadelphia area, Upper Darby, Overbrook, do you think that made it, a little more heartwarming and special to all of you guys? And how was working with the cast? Because like you said, you have wonderful, wonderful people and well-known people in the cast. So how was that?
Yeah. So, well, to answer the first part of your question, yes, no doubt about it. I think having that familiarity with the terrain and with the general attitude of Philadelphia absolutely helps with the authenticity and the heart, because I think one thing Philly has a ton of is heart, and we poke fun a little bit, but it's all love. And I think it's very much a Philly thing. Like, we can mess with each other, but no one else can mess with us, type of thing. So yeah, that definitely helped. And as far as the cast goes, I mean, I just got chills. I don't know what else to say other than, I was blessed. I mean, my producers did a tremendous job of getting this cast. We cast this film in less than a month, which is insane when you're talking about 2 Academy Award nominees, a Golden Globe winner, Emmy Award winners, the cast, on and on and on. Just tremendous. So for me, by far the biggest cast that I've worked with. and just another step up and in terms of professionalism and just really being from Jeremy on down, just being, kind of anchors I can lean into. Yeah, it was a tremendous experience.
That's awesome. And working with everyone every day, how was that? I mean, like, just take us through your day-to-day film day. Like, what do you guys get into? How was the set? Like, we want to know the details.
I mean, you might hear a different response if you talk to my producers or the PAs or someone else, but I tend to think, all kidding aside, I take a lot of, I have a lot of respect for the crew. So I believe a film set's one of these really unique, crazy, sorry, my phone's going nuts. A film set's like one of these strange, unique workplaces where people come together from all different skill sets and walks of life to do a very specific job under a intense amount of pressure in a short period of time. It's a really fascinating kind of like ecosystem when it comes to that. And as a director, obviously you're it's not a democracy, but by the same token, it's the ultimate collaboration. And I'm a big fan of that. So I think a film also, depending on the tonality of the film, like this was a fun, a fun comedy. And I think the set needs to reflect that in a way, in a professional way. And I think we did a pretty good job of that. I think I did a pretty good job of that I think people had fun and but also knew when to get down to business, One thing I love, and I've done this for years, is I'm a big believer in it's not about my idea, it's about the best idea. And so, oftentimes there's so many more people on set that have been on set so much. I'm only on set when I'm making my own movies, right? But a lot of crew are on 10 times as many sets as I am. They have a lot of other knowledge, and you're always listening. You overhear someone at the coffee, grabbing a cup of coffee, say something that you apply to the next scene or something. And I think when crew know that you're valuing their opinions, then they're going to give you, 110%. So I think overall it was fun. I mean, we had so many jokesters and so many, everyone from Jeremy, Taryn, Jamie, Sherry, Bruce, they're all like comedic geniuses. So they had the crew. I mean, they had people in stitches all day long. So it was fun. It was a lot of, it was great. It was great. Crazy. We were, as it would be for an indie film of this level, you're ripping 8 pages a day, sometimes 10 pages a day, so it's intense, but yeah, it was amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I can't even imagine how fun it would be on set. And, for you, getting new ideas and sparking up, something new and throwing it in there must be really, really, really exciting. So we actually did watch the trailer and it looks absolutely phenomenal. So we do have one question for you though. So we did some search and heard that it was formerly titled Crabs in a Bucket. So how was going about that, naming the film in general, like dabbling back and forth, and what made you finally you and the crew and cast come to a conclusion with Last Call?
Well, that was a business decision to change the title, but the script came to me with that title, and for a while I loved it for a long time. And I don't know if you're familiar with. I didn't know what the metaphor. I didn't know the term before I had gotten a hold of the script, and then kind of looked it up. But the term it's a socio-economic metaphor for people holding people back, basically. Right. So a crab will kind of get out of a bucket and scuttle away, but crabs in a bucket will pull the other crabs down. Right. And I thought that was a really interesting, albeit somewhat wordy, maybe, but apt title for this, because Jeremy's character is a successful real estate agent in Rittenhouse Square, and he never bothers to go back just, I don't know, whatever it is, 20 minutes away to Upper Darby or Darby Heights in our film, to see his family or his old boys and stuff like that. So because he always had this, the character had this fear of needing to get out because he'd be sucked back in. and he has to come to learn to realize that, you know, it was never as bad as he thought. And, you know, for me, growing up in Overbrook, and when I did, you know, I got out of Dodge, I went away on the other side of the state to school. And there is a bit of that. There's a lot of that in various neighborhoods where it's, you know, get ahead, but don't get ahead of me type of mentality. So I always loved that title, but anyway, with IFC Films, we were fortunate enough to have them as a home for this film. And when they were talking about, you know, the marketing of it, the last call, so it was a little bit more digestible, you know, a little bit easier digestible. So they went with that. So out of my control, all good though. You know, it kind of works because they go, you know, they own this bar, and you know, the bar is about to go under, and there's this casino element with the gentrification, and that might kind of raise the bar. So it's kind of a double entendre in terms of, you know, last call, and it, you know, it's mostly set in a bar, so it works, you know. So.
Now, what is something that you are looking forward to viewers seeing or gaining from Last Call?
Wow. Well, it's the first time I'm having a film in theaters, pandemic or not. I'm pretty excited about that. Just yesterday, New York City, Mayor or Governor Cuomo announced that New York's opening their theaters back up March 5th, 2 weeks before we come out. So hopefully, I don't know yet where, but hopefully we'll be in some theaters in New York, and people, you know, if they feel comfortable enough, will be able to go there. But yeah, you know, it for me, you know, it's tremendous. We have IFC Films, which is as prestigious as it gets, and you know, this cast, and you know, hopefully people get to see it, people like it, and then we'll make more, you know. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us a little bit about you and about Last Call. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you so much, Paolo, for being here with us and sharing the ins and the outs of Last Call. I can already tell it's going to be a very entertaining film, and we can't wait to watch it with you and the rest of our viewers on March 19th, guys. We've got to take a quick break, but let's catch up with our correspondent, Ashley Meir, for some much-needed tips on how to start your day right. We'll be right back.
Hello Temple Talkers, it's your correspondent Ashley Meir, and I am bringing you a segment all about tips on mental health and how to positively start your day. Now obviously this pandemic has just completely sucked, but there have been things that came out of it in a weirdly positive way, which one of them is the conversation around mental health. So basically this entire video is circling around the idea that you are in control of your feelings, your thoughts, your day. You set the tone once you wake up in the morning. Just a few tips to get you started on your day in a positive light. The number one thing that I have found that has helped me is waking up and not looking directly at my phone. Now that's gonna sound absolutely crazy. I know it's 2021 and social media is everything. I want you to challenge yourself to wake up and not reach for your phone right away. Do not go on Instagram, do not go on Facebook, whatever it is that you're about to click on and literally hypnotize yourself with, don't do it. You're too busy focusing on other people's lives, and that's the first mistake that you're going to make by looking at Instagram upon rising. You're waking up and literally letting yourself be indulged in other people's lives and not even focusing on yourself. So you're probably like, okay, Ash, what am I supposed to do when I wake up then? Have 3 journals. I have this one, which I write my little affirmations in. Second is this little intentions and reflections journal. It has like little prompts for day and night. This is another journal that I use. This is just kind of where I write my thoughts, my feelings, anything that makes me feel angry, makes me feel happy. This is where I write all of those feelings. And it really is just a great feeling to get it all out as soon as you wake up or before you go to bed, because you're not letting those feelings just sink into your day and take over your emotions and feelings. Now, my second tip for starting off your day on a positive note is opening your blinds and opening your window. Opening your blinds is just so simple, but it does so much. It just lets in all of this sunlight and your room no longer feels so dark and you don't feel as tired in it. You just let in all this fresh air and it wakes you up even more. If you are somebody who skips breakfast, listen up because you are doing yourself a major disservice. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I know that it's corny, I know you've been hearing it your whole life, but it's true. Without that fuel, you're not going to be able to perform your best in anything that you are doing. A little piece of advice, when you're making yourself breakfast, try to make it something that you can look forward to. And I know that it sounds silly, but I like to make myself a nice cup of coffee about 20 minutes after I eat, and I literally look forward to that coffee. My last piece of advice for setting the positive tone for your day is movement. The correlation between mental health and physical activity is very high. On a quick little brisk walk in the morning, or do some stretching or some yoga flow in your room, you don't realize that positive impact that early blood flow has on your body. I am somebody who likes to get up early and go to the gym because it sets the tone for my day. Thank you guys so much for joining my mental health vlog today. I had so much fun telling you guys my tips. Signing off for Temple Talk from my bedroom, it's Ashley Meir, and I will see you guys next time.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, the 2021 Golden Globe nominations were announced, and while many are happy to receive nominations, some fans think other greats within the film industry were snubbed. Fans felt a little bit uneasy after Emmy Award winner Zendaya did not get nominated as Best Actress in a Drama for her role in Malcolm and Marie. And the movie Music, directed by Sia and starring Kate Hudson, also got a lot of folks talking since there's some controversy surrounding co-star Maddie Ziegler, who plays an autistic girl. Many people were also surprised to see Netflix show Emily in Paris nominated for Best Comedy Series over ABC's Blackish. A lot of different issues with the Golden Globes, I think, this year. So what do you guys think about these nominations?
I think I haven't seen enough of the things on the list, which is surprising because we were home for so long to judge, but I know I saw Prom, and James Corden's nomination got like a lot of controversy because he's not gay, he portrayed a gay man, and people are saying how offensive it was. So I think in general, award shows can be really unfortunate for a lot of different guests, but it made me want to watch a lot of things. I haven't seen Soul yet from Disney Plus, so I want to watch that. And shout out to WHIP at Temple. I won tickets to see Judas and the Black Messiah, and that got nominations. So I want to see that. Thank you, WHIP. So honestly, I just saw a lot that I want to watch, but Zendaya always getting snubbed. So I'm sorry for her on that. What do you guys think?
I think, oh, go on, Connell, go on.
I just think it's, I mean, time after time again, James Corden, we keep going back to this problem that is not being fixed. And, I don't think it's okay for someone without a disability that is playing a character with a disability. I think that's unfair. I think that would have been a perfect opportunity for someone to hop in there and completely portray the character with full honesty and vulnerability. And I think because of this, we missed out on a wonderful opportunity for someone to, snag that role. And I don't think it's fair. I personally don't. I think it's, I don't know. And with the James Corden too, playing a gay man when he's not gay, when there's so many gay people, fighting for roles in film. Baker, sorry, cut you off a little earlier. What do you got to say?
No, don't ever apologize. So I'm gonna just start by saying, like, that whole Sia, the film Music, Maddie Ziegler situation, that's a mess, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't know how that got greenlit. I don't know who passed that in Hollywood, but yikes is all I have to say about that, because that's just like totally inappropriate and borderline offensive. But moving on, I have two things that I'm happy about when it comes to Golden Globes, and two things that I'm mad about when it comes to the Golden Globes. Two things I'm happy about are Nomadland. Nomadland getting the Best Drama nomination, Best Screenplay, and Best Director. Yep, you betcha. I love to see that female director up there on the Best Director spot list. Give it to me. Nomadland, everyone go see it. It literally shook me to my core. It was so nuanced, so beautiful. I teared up multiple points. It's a beautiful coming of middle-age story. Totes, go watch that. Another thing I'm happy about, Riz Ahmed being nominated for Best Actor in a Drama. He was in Sound of Metal, phenomenal. Seriously, one of the best performances I watched this past year. By the way, I eat up the Golden Globes. I love film award shows. They're like my bread and butter, so I could really go on all day right now. Two things I'm mad about, James Corden. James Corden being nominated, that is, honestly, that's laughable to me. Like, I literally could laugh about that. Because There are so many more gay actors who are so much more deserving of that spot than James Corden was, and he just got it because they wanted that big celeb cameo. And honestly, James Corden, you're corny. You're corny for all of that. So take that, James Corden. I'm sure he's really upset right now. And lastly, I'm gonna get off my soapbox after this. Emily in Paris. Who decided to nominate Emily in Paris? Like, I thought that was a joke, right? Like, I thought everyone was in on the joke about Emily in Paris, that it was bad and like laughable. But when I saw that it got nominated for Golden Globe, jaw on the floor. Jaw on the floor. There were so many more deserving shows than Emily in Paris. And that's that. So that's my spiel. Cam?
And in my head, I'm like, is it the content itself? Like, is it just that the films and the shows are bad and they don't include diverse audiences and they're just people are not in the boardroom who need to be in the boardroom? Or is it the people at the top organizing all of these ceremonies, the Grammys, the Golden Globes? Like, I'm trying to figure out if it's the content or the people who are making these decisions because and it might be a mixture of both.
It's definitely the Hollywood Foreign Press. I think that they've got, because it's like when you have a show like I May Destroy You that is like written by a Black person, starring a Black woman, touches upon so many important themes like sexual assault and depression and all these important things, and that's not getting nominated when you have a show like Emily in Paris. I mean, I May Destroy You was sitting there slapping the Hollywood Foreign Press in the face saying, nominate me, nominate me, nominate me. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it. So, I mean, that to me is just like, it's just the Hollywood Foreign Press and their poor, poor taste.
They definitely need to get it together. I don't know what it is, but they need to get it together because we just can't keep having the same conversations about these award shows. It's almost like sickening. It's like, why do we still have to deal with shows that are not, giving the people what we want? And it's like a group consensus.
It's like they literally want us to complain about these award shows.
Yeah.
They literally, like, they want us, maybe because of us and so many people talking about it, maybe that gets their name out there. Who knows what they're...
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like,
nowadays.
Good,
come on, publicity.
Yes, publicity.
I just feel like these don't care enough about their reputations, like people are watching them and having these conversations. It's all over social media. Why did they want to be the bad guys and not be inclusive and just be hurtful and offensive? Like they know what they're doing. You're telling me there's no one on the set of The Prom to say like, maybe James Corden shouldn't do this role? Like no one said it. That's just, it's kind of
like, where's the gay intern on set? You know what I mean? Like, hello?
Really?
Like, I'm confused. If I was that gay intern, I would be hooting and hollering. Like, I'll tell you that much.
You better come out there and make a statement about it.
Exactly.
No, that's...
And like, you're here first. Hire us. We'll get the job done.
But like, to be a little bit more serious, and I don't know, it's, as a gay man, that's very upsetting. What if I was an actor and I wanted to go into film and I was really excited to audition, or my name was known out there as a gay actor and just another gay man that gets blindsided and given to a straight person? Like it's harmful, and think about how many times that has happened to people of color, people with disabilities. Like it's time after time again. I don't know why Hollywood and the film industry isn't waking up, and I definitely do think it might be a power versus people under kind of ordeal.
And Scarlett Johansson with
that's a very...
No, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was gonna wrap this section up, but we can still talk about it because it's an important issue that we should really address.
Scarlett Johansson, like portraying a trans person, that was a huge issue. Like they know that they could be seen, and I think roles should just be given to people that are actually fitting of that role. I mean, it'll just be a way for like there to be more inclusivity in the industry, and I just want to see more of it. So we're screaming it here from Temple Talk. Please be more inclusive and just be fair. We just want fairness.
Exactly.
We just want fairness. Um, guys, important conversations we just had and they needed to be had, okay? I'm just gonna transition a little bit. The Weeknd made his mark at this year's Super Bowl halftime show and ensured that everyone knew that he is in fact a star boy. He performed some of his biggest hits, including The Hills and Blinding Lights. This halftime performance did look a little bit different compared to, previous halftime shows, of course, but he was still able to put on quite the show and contributed $7 million of his own money. Guys,
I love that.
give me the
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
I mean, we had Beyonce on stage. We had Gaga. We've had
Keep
people
going.
years slay the Super Bowl.
Keep going, Connell. Keep going. Keep going.
So wasn't
I'm
my
listening.
favorite. Wasn't my favorite, but I love the idea that he was so unbelievably grateful for that opportunity and put so much of his personal effort, time, and emphasis on money into it. He didn't get paid, right? He paid all of it himself. Am I wrong about that?
All of it?
Did he pay for all
he
of it?
did he didn't pay for all of it, but he did contribute that $7 million, which was basically that's what the performance was worth. But there were rumors going around that he did not get paid to perform, but that might just be a rumor.
And rumor or not, if that is true, which if it is true, that is beautiful because that shows that he didn't just take this opportunity for granted and he appreciated every single second of it and put his entire heart and soul into it. And he knew, I am saying this is probably the biggest experience of his life with his musical career, and he enjoyed every single second of it. And you could tell watching him on stage, you could feel his energy, you could feel the love and the gratitude coming out of him and shining on stage. And that's something that, even though it wasn't the greatest set or the greatest ever in my personal opinion, it's the fact that he literally looked like a glowing ball of gracious energy. And I don't know, it put the biggest smile on my face.
I think it was very clear to the viewers at home, aka me, that he was enjoying himself, but sitting in front of the screen, I don't know how much I was necessarily enjoying myself. No shade here. The Weeknd. I'm just incredibly biased towards my pop girls. I like my twists, my turns, my special guests, my dance movement. I like my dance. I love the spectacle of a pop girl at the halftime performance. When I almost feel, this might be so controversial, but I almost feel like I was watching a concert and not a halftime performance. Yikes! I'm sorry I said that. If The Weeknd, if you're watching this, I'm sorry to tear you down like that. But I just was expecting a little bit more, like you could bring out 100 background dancers. So let's do a little bit more. Let's dig into this. The Weeknd is kind of what I have to say, because if it were a woman, we would be analyzing every single thing that she was doing to a T, like every hit, every move she's hitting, we would be watching and paying attention to and criticizing. Where with The Weeknd, he's kind of allowed to get away with a lot more things as a male performer, just because male performers really don't resonate with the public as much and they don't really have to do as much. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about The Weeknd's performance, but good for him. And I didn't know about that $7 million thing. That's actually really awesome. So
The outfits are major. I mean, people look at people's outfits. Like, if it were a woman, they'd be like, oh, how'd she look in this? So, and I've seen this outfit on The Weeknd like a lot already. So whatever, but you've made it when you're at the halftime show. And for him to have done it in the pandemic, it's super cool. And it wasn't my favorite performance, but I thought I was the only one blasting Save Your Tears like every 5 seconds afterwards. But then it's like #1 on the charts. So clearly it wasn't just me. That song really just like gets stuck in your head. But it was overall cool, and I like the message behind it with the whole bandage thing, and the Hollywood like plastic surgery being your authentic self. But good for him, he did it, and the contribution is a huge deal. So shout out to you, The Weeknd.
Now, guys, I have seen The Weeknd in concert, and I had the most amazing time. I literally, all the emotions, I thought he was singing to my soul. I watched the Super Bowl performance. I didn't get that same feeling Like, I just didn't get it, and I know we're in a pandemic, but his performance at the MTV Music Awards in 2020 was so much better. So I'm just wondering, no shade, no tea, but like 7 million go to? Like, was that just like
Exactly.
paying for the dance or like like I just
Spent
I
a
just
lot of
wanted it
money,
to
but
add
I
on
don't
and it didn't.
see
It
it.
didn't give me that.
Just so fair. So interesting. Do you think that he I don't know. This might be random. Do you think he was just trying to put all of the attention onto him as a performer and didn't really want to wash away himself with the extravagant backgrounds? Perspective.
That jacket and his teeth must have been really expensive, is all I'm saying.
Because he put a lot of work. We know. He put a lot of work into that. So do you guys know what I mean though? Do you think
Like
not in a bad way?
I think that he did want to be, you know, all about the weekend, but it just missed the mark for me. As a Super Bowl performance, you have to like that's what people look forward to. Some people don't even watch the game. They literally just watch the halftime show, and it wasn't as good as we've seen in the past. Like even Miss Katy Perry, she did her thing with the dark horse back. Like I'm remembering all the other great experiences that I've had watching it, and I just missed the mark. Maybe it was because we're in the pandemic, but
The Super Bowl halftime show is supposed to be extravagant, like eclectic. I want lights. I want, like Baker said, like I want people hitting like triples and doing.
Yeah.
Like, I want people flying, flinging everywhere, every single color, and wasn't hit.
I wanted
we
a
want the
guest.
word. Yeah. He
Where's
really
the
needs.
guest? I look forward to
me.
that too. Who are they bringing out?
Exactly. He needed to bring a girl out for me to keep me happy and pleased. But
Thank you.
He didn't. So
You're the women.
well, you know what? All these performances, the Golden Globes, the Super Bowl halftime performances, we are yelling what we want, and this is the group consensus. Okay,
We
so
won't.
just make note for next year. Well, guys, thanks so much for talking about these topics. Now we're gonna turn it over to correspondent Olivia Rokiro, and she's gonna give us the slay of the day for winter fashion. Take a look.
Hey guys, it's Olivia, and I'm so excited to share with you a few outfits inspirations I created for the winter season. Right now, it's a great time to layer clothing pieces because of the cold weather, and to also wear winter essentials such as winter coats, long-sleeve shirts, sweaters, and boots. So I created 3 outfit inspirations that are affordable and that are great for the winter season.
So the first look I created, I put a crop blue sweater from Forever 21. That's good for the winter because it's sweater, but it's nice and cropped, which is cute with the skirt. Then I put a black mini skirt from also Forever 21, and I paired it with some black tights again for the cold weather. And I just paired that with some black ankle boots, which puts the look all together. For the second outfit, I paired this light blue turtleneck sweater, which again is really good for the winter, from Aerie, and it's also a little cropped, so I paired it with these black skinny jeans that I got from H&M a while ago. And for the shoes, I just paired it with these black boots that are like Doc Marten knockoffs. So yeah, I thought again this is like a pretty warm outfit, good for winter. So for the third outfit, I created like 2 versions of the same outfit. So for one version, I paired this blue cardigan that's cropped with these high-waisted like straight jeans, which I really like. They're super in right now, the straight jean instead of like skinny jeans. So I really like these jeans. They're again really warm for winter, and then I paired it again with my black boots. And the different version of the same outfit is wearing a black tank top with the blue cardigan instead of it by itself.
And welcome back to Temple Talk, everyone. We have our lovely correspondents, Maggie and Kat, and we are going to be playing the Grammy game. And we totally made this up a few weeks ago, but basically our lovely co-executive producer, Joe, is going to be reading off some nominees for the Grammys, and we're just going to write down who we think is going to win that category and just talk a little bit about it. So let's just jump right into the game. Joe, we're going to hand it over to you.
The first category is Record of the Year. The nominees are Black Parade by Beyonce, Colors by Black Pumas, Rockstar by DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch, Say So by Doja Cat, Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish, Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa, Circles by Post Malone, Savage by Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce. You have 10 seconds. Three, two, one.
Mine backwards.
Oh, you're good. Oh my God.
Okay, Cam, I see you.
Such a variety of answers.
That was a hard one.
I can't believe that Cardigan wasn't nominated for Record of the Year. I literally had Cardigan written down here.
She's
But it
Song of the
wasn't
Year.
nominated.
She's Song of the Year, not Record, apparently. Whatever, Grammys.
That was so hard. Oh my gosh.
Who's next, Joe?
The next category is Album of the Year.
Oh.
Chilombo by Janae Aiko, Black Pumas by Black Pumas, Everyday Life by Coldplay, D. Jesse Volume 3 by Jacob Collier, Women in Music Part 3 by Haim, Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa, Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone, or Folklore by Taylor Swift. You have 10 seconds.
Oh, my. Oh, okay. Okay.
This is easy.
I'm going to ramble right after this.
Ready. Had my answer.
2, 1.
Okay. Folklore?
For sure. Kim said I'm not participating.
So phenomenal, but Future Nostalgia, literally Future Nostalgia.
It's either one of those. Like, it's got to be either one of those. As much as I want him to win a Grammy.
Please let me talk. Please let me talk. This is the only time I'll ever be able to talk about Haim on this platform. So I literally I don't know when I'll get the chance to talk about Haim on Temple Talk again. So I really have to go. Woman in Music Part 3, baby. That's a classic. That's a classic. It isn't filled with that funky, it's not really got that basic pop production that we're getting from Future Nostalgia, no shade. Wimpy offers a little bit of everything or a little bit of something for everyone here. And also, they are the first all-girl band to ever be nominated for Album of the Year. And also, Wimpy is the only album currently nominated for Album of the Year that was primarily produced by a woman. So, Wimpy, Woman in Music Part 3, if you're not standing Haim, you need to get on the train. They are cool, they are funny, and they are the most talented girls to walk the earth right now. And I will go to my grave saying that because I am brainwashed by Haim.
And they just released a new song it's off of Women in Music 3, but it's remixed with a Taylor Swift feature. So everyone go listen to it.
Bone chilling.
It's so good. It's so good.
I don't know, the Folklore really.
Oh yeah, realistically,
she just dominated so much that I am obviously I'm Taylor biased. She is my mother. She raised me. She's my heart and soul. She the blood in my veins. But I'm just I can't see her not winning.
Yeah, me either. Realistically, I'm expecting a Taylor sweep. It's been a few years since we've gotten a Taylor sweep, and I mean, I'm a Swiftie through and through too. So I'll be cheering, I'll be screaming if she gets that. She deserves it, So it's between Folklore and probably Future Nostalgia is where I'm headed, realistically. But Wimpy, I'll be shooting up to the moon if they win album of the year. Shooting up to the moon. You won't hear from me again.
Love it.
Are you guys ready for your last category?
Yes.
The last category is Best New Artist. Ingrid Andress, Phoebe Bridgers, Chica, Noah Cyrus, D Smoke, Doja Cat, K Trinata, or Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, okay.
You have 10 seconds. Three, two, one.
Yes, yes, with the Meg sweep.
I'm covering up Phoebe. I'm covering up Phoebe.
Okay, listen, I wrote Phoebe. I had it written down. I had Phoebe written down, and then he hit me with, yes, he hit me with the Meg Thee Stallion, and I was like, well,
I don't know. I think it really could go either way, but I think the competition is really just between Phoebe or Meg. I will probably give it to Meg just because the uproar that will be had if they don't give it to her will be paralyzing to the Academy. But I think Phoebe has a chance. Phoebe does.
Kick off this show if I ask.
Wait, Maggie, why did you choose Meg over Phoebe?
Because she just had all of these collabs. She literally dominated this year. There's like, without a doubt, she literally had a collab with Beyonce, Ariana Grande. I know that's not, it just recently came out, so it's obviously not nominated for this year. But she completely like blew everyone away this past year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Those features are unstoppable. Like just having like, she is just the best new artist. Like on that list, like she truly has had the best year out of everyone on that list. She's just been killing it month after month. So
Agreed. How is she new? Like she's been around. If she has Beyonce,
yeah,
like she can't be new. So it has to be her.
That's why she's easily gonna win. And at the same time, producing, it was her debut album, right?
Mm-hmm.
That got some mad buzz about and some bops on it. I think that's an easy sweep.
Just in the aspect of female rappers, I'm just like, I know the main girls, Nicki and Cardi, obviously they're legendary, but Meg's giving them a run for their money. And when you compare debut albums, Cardi's debut album wasn't that great. Meg's debut album, I listened to every single track on repeat. It is a phenomenal debut female rap album. Like it is like, she's so good at everything she does. She's so good.
She's a real hot girl, so she has to get it.
She's a real hot girl. I'm just saying she had such a successful year. I mean, even, we talked about the SNL performance that she did a few months ago, and she speaks well about, what's going on in the world, but yet she can still twerk, she could still make her song, she could still feature her with whoever she wants, like she's just doing it for me, and I can't wait to see what we're gonna get from Miss Meg in the future.
Just like imagining her up on stage in a beautiful dress, getting that Grammy in her hands, you know what I mean? Like that's just gonna be a moment, you know what I mean? Like everyone wants to see that moment. Like it literally, like I'm a big crier, so I'll probably be crying. Like I just want to.
She's in college. She's doing college at the same time. Like that's crazy. She's one of a kind, so she has to do it.
And she's a public health major. I know.
That's so nice.
I know.
Meg Thee Stallion's a public health major.
Something like that. She's in that realm. Yeah, she's in like the College of Public Health school. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's graduating within the next few months, I believe.
Yeah. This semester, right? I guess so.
Connell shook.
That
I know, isn't it incredible? I love that about her.
She does not need to. She can drop off she can buy an island somewhere that you and I we have never seen on a map, and will be gladly successful. And she's in school. That says so much about her and her character. She is beautiful. She is a real hot girl, and she is going to slay that category. Let me tell you that one.
She meant it when she said, my tuition just to kiss me. I cannot finish the line, but every time I hear it, I'm like, the facts, the tea.
And on that note, we love you, Meg. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and special thanks to Paolo Pilladi and the cast and crew of Last Call. That's it for this episode. We will see you guys next time on Temple Talk.
Talk.